He needs to get away from Chelsea. It's not really worked for him at Chelsea.
Stevie, I got a question for you.
Yep.
You're putting together a team. You're the manager, right? Do you take Christian Pulisic or do you take Joao Felix?
Oh.
Don't take Joao Felix over Pulisic.
Well, and my point is that Christian Pulisic is going to find that the market for him is getting tighter and tighter and tighter and smaller and smaller and smaller. And he had his multiple opportunities at Chelsea, didn't quite work out. Injuries were an issue. Chelsea became a mess. And now he's an afterthought. See,
he's only 24.
He's only 24.
Yes, only 24, but it feels like he's been around forever now and never has been able to really establish himself and be a guy that you know is going to be available to you in a starting 11 or in the 18-man roster, whatever the case may be. Just not playing with any consistency, fitness an issue, and now is way at the back of the line.
It's been disappointing, hasn't it, Frank? Pulisic's time at Chelsea?
Yeah, and while the guy was speaking and I was trying to understand why we are talking about those two players and who are considered as stars, big-time players, where they are still young and maybe haven't proved enough to be named as stars. And that's maybe the problem that we have right now. We are living in a dictator of emergency where players are named stars or after maybe one good season, which we know is not enough to be considered as a big-time player because you have to show consistency. And it doesn't help them out to be named like that because they have to prove that they can be there. And Joao Felix is a very talented player. I have to agree with Stevie in a way that the guy has something, but I have to agree with Ali that it's not sustainable what he showed in the world. So maybe he picked the wrong team, but that's his fault, you know. Don't go to Atletico Madrid if it's not your game. Don't go to Chelsea if it's not your game. And Pulisic is maybe the same. His nickname, Captain America. I mean, come on. Yeah, it's big time, Captain America. The guy's going to save the world almost. It's Christian Pulisic. He had problems at Dortmund. He came to Chelsea and he had quite good start, but after it was so-so. I think he's still lucky, for me, very lucky to go to Juventus. If he has a possibility to go there, go there. Because I'm not sure I will take that choice if I was the chairman of Juventus. It's a big question mark about those two players, but more on Christian Pulisic than on Joao Felix for me.
That was touched here by Craig. Oh, yeah, I believe it's Craig, where they talk about how the superstars are being made superstars before they even achieved anything. He told something morely in the case of looking at the fact that you are putting so much hype into these players before they even grow up to be. One good season does not classify a player as world class. We have seen situations like that when things like this has happened and always turned sour. We are talking about this looking at the fact that Christian Pulisic looked like this is the player that everyone wanted. And look how his season has now died out at Chelsea. It's also something that has happened before. Joao Felix as well. People hyped him up before he even had a chance to prove himself. Now these young players are fighting every single time to prove if they're even worth of the title that the world has given them. And they are struggling. They are really struggling, and it's really painful. So I really do feel like it's important before you push and you say that the players are something, give them the chance to prove it, to certify themselves as the best players in the world. Let them have a run like what Kevin De Bruyne has done. We can talk about him as one of the best players. Like Mohamed Salah has done. He is one of the best players. They have proven themselves that they are worth to be called world-class players. This thing of pushing young players before they even prove that they're certified good, it is always a problem. Chelsea did it again with Reece James. Look at him now. It's always injury after injury. Now, it's not the problem of his fault, but he hasn't done so much in the world of football to be a world-class player. I don't know if you agree with me or what these guys were saying, but this is what my thoughts are like. Click the like button and subscribe to the comment. I'm out. Peace. We'll be back again with another one.